So, since my PC wants to be dumb at the moment, and yeah, hello everyone, my name is Evie, and welcome to another live stream. And since my PC can't seem to handle when I go live for whatever reason on my PC, I'll be using my yeah. So hopefully you all do enjoy this type of stream, because this stream we're going to be talking about LGBTQIA plus related stuff and how it affects, others and stuff like that. And yeah. So yeah, do enjoy this. Leave a like, subscribe. We're literally 5 subscribers away from reaching 500 subscribers. And yeah. We're going to be posting as much as we can all this month. And you're trying to push for that 500 subscriber goal. And yeah. So let's get straight into it, shall we? Like, straight up. Like, and yeah. So, I'm going to be trying to find my channel so that I can read the chat pretty much. And yeah. Okay, that's good. So, yeah, why does it matter to use someone's preferred name and pronouns? And why use your date name someone? And stuff like that. It is because of the fact that by date naming someone, by using the preferred name or pronouns, you say, I don't care of how you are as a person, I only care about myself. And that your gender identity is not valid and stuff, unvalid and stuff like that. And saying that to you, it doesn't, like, oh, yeah, you're trans, yeah, no. You're a man, so you have to stay a man. Or if you're born a woman, you're a woman. There's nothing. It's like, really? Like, that's not always the case. Because there's intersex, there's intersex, there's people born with different. I wasn't expecting mom to be home. But yeah. And yeah. Like for one. Yeah. And by using someone's preferred name and pronouns made them feel seen, validated, and respected. And that is something that people who are gender diverse would just love to be seen and heard. And someone for someone to be able to talk to and stuff, like, instead of being like, oh, but like, but to me it's this and this and this. If you're born with this part or this part, you're male or female, that's it. That's not always the case. Something that gets one, then people listen to media, and then do other stuff, and then gets all mushy. And then there's stuff with like politics, and then religious. And I understand that completely. That people who are religious may not understand the LGBTQIA plus community that well, and that stem from their religion. That's what I was looking for, religion, and that all of it, all that comes from the religion and how they were raised and stuff like that. Like, and transphobia and homophobia. Homophobia is hate towards people who are gay, bi, pansexual, anything to do with sexualities. Where transphobia is where people are scared or have hatred towards people who are gender diverse, like gender fluid, transgender, gender queer, agender, bigender, anything that's underneath the trans umbrella, pretty much. And I made a whole 1 hour and minute on a video today while we celebrate Pride Month each year. How you can help the LGBTQI plus community. And yeah, like, it sucks that people don't realize how much damage they do by not using someone's preferred name and pronouns. And understand that some people are like, oh, how come I see it's not this person complaining about their preferred, how people see them and stuff like that. And it's the fact that some trans people may react poorly when someone doesn't recognize that they're a woman or a man or gender fluid or agender or bigender. And understand that people who may not understand that, it don't know how to really go about it. It may go he, him, or she, her at first. But as us trans folks, or as gender diverse folks, we also gotta realize that overreacting isn't really gonna help our situation. All I gotta do be like, hey, can you please use, my pronouns are she, her, or they, them, or he, they, and can you please respect that? And then the person's like, okay, if they're open-minded that way. Because sometimes just being able to say that will make you feel good. It makes everyone in that area, in that party feel better. And then be less stressed about things and stuff like that. Because from my experience, that when I first came out as trans, I don't know when I first came out as trans, I don't exactly remember the year, but I told you I was like 19, 18 years old when I first came out as trans, and that was when I was in high school still, and yeah, and the fact that, when I first came out, my quote-unquote friends I thought I could rely on didn't want to use my preferred name and pronoun. They would use my preferred name, but then not my preferred pronouns, which is she, her. And then they wouldn't tell their friends about the fact that, hey, I got a trans friend, can you please respect her? And she uses she, her pronouns. Can you please respect your pronouns? And yeah, and they just wouldn't do it. They would rather just, not do it. And that's something that also can really hurt your friendship with your friends. Even though with so many years, like I knew my close friend IOL for 6 or 7 years, pretty much. And not that long ago, I feel like a year ago, I had to stop being friends with this person because of the fact that they weren't respecting me, and the fact that they were, not realizing that they weren't respecting me at all. And yeah, and that's the other thing, that if you have a friend that's trans or gender diverse, it's always a good idea to try to be as open-minded as possible. Try to help them out. Be like, oh, what name do you go by? What pronouns do you use? And by using their preferred name and pronouns without any issue. Of course, you might have some mistakes from them, the name that you know them for so long, or have mistakes. And that's understandable. But what my friend did, so my friend did, quote unquote, wasn't. Leo the Syrian. How you how you doing today? I'm doing good. Like I'm just talking about like LGBTQI plus related stuff, and yeah, because it's Pride Month, and yeah. I forget. How did you know that transgender was the right path for you? Path for you. Do you think you ever did you understand how did you deal with bullying for being transgender in school? Well, I never really dealt with being trans in school, really. Like I never really dealt with it, but how I knew that it was the right path was the fact that for one that I knew that in my head for like my whole life that like I was different and that I didn't fit in with most of the boys. Like I tried to fit in for so long and that just hit me for so long, stuff like that. And I'm serious question, how did you know that Twitter was right for you? Because I'm now a happier person now. And do you think I'll ever be transition? No. Like never. Like I will never detransition. Like I don't think that will be the case for me. And stuff like that. Okay. I thought something happened in the I'm also trans, female to male. Also happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Month. Oh my friend's scared to say that, man. I thought something happened in the Discord server. Boo. Don't do that. That's dude, you something with my finger. Yo, it's like, oh shit, something happened. But no, we're good. We're good. We're good in Discord server. We're good. And yeah, happy Pride Month, everyone. And hopefully you're able to get on HRT with its hormone replacement therapy, either on estrogen or testosterone, for you to feel more happy in your own body and stuff like that. And yeah, because of the fact that, yeah. And I made a whole video talking more in depth in this, which is an hour and 4 minutes long. I'm not even kidding. Like, and stuff like when I'm actually using my Xbox to read chat, since my phone, screen is just way too small to really read anything. And yeah. And yeah. Like pretty much, yeah. Like I wanted to make this video for the longest time, and yeah. So, because it's something that I am passionate about, and stuff like that. Since being trans in these days isn't easy, because in most states, it's illegal to go to a woman's bathroom or a man's bathroom if you're trans. And that really, really sucks. Like, because people have this idea that people who are trans want to just... Oh yeah, this is my mic. I'm not using it for the video. I'm using the mic for my phone. So just gonna put it away. And yeah. Want to just harass kids and people in the bathroom. And it's something that really bothers me and stuff like that. And the fact that people forget that trans kids exist as well. That people say, oh, but your mom or dad or your parents forced you to be this way. They abused you to be trans because they always wanted a son or daughter. But then it's like, that's not true. Maybe on really, really, really rare occasions, where that's true. But that's so rare that, like in my knowledge at least, I've had no news on it ever happening. But like, yeah, like yeah, and it's quite dumb that people who are trans still need to, not only trans, but who are gender diverse. Sorry if I can't speak right for a reason. I cannot speak right today for a reason. It is weird, but it is what it is. Because I have a list. Because I'm also neurodivergent, autistic, or autism, whatever area you want to be it, and call it and stuff like that. But not always though. Because the R word makes it feel weird. So no R word, no R slurs. Or F slurs. You can say the way. Now this also having issues. Are you happy how you look with your trend? Are you happy how you look with your transition? Do you wish you look like your Minecraft skin? Well, here's the thing. My Minecraft skin is something that's completely different from IRL. And plus, sometimes yeah, but at the same time, I have curly hair with that character has like straight hair with, yeah. If I had to put like curl cream in here and actually combed it down, it would be downward. But here's the thing: a lot of women who are mixed or even it doesn't matter this ethnicity why I'm saying it have short hair, and I'm my teachers the school. Okay, for me, I go to a program for kids, young adults who are 18, 19 to age 22 called the Transition Program, where you learn how to get a job, how credit cards work, how debit cards work, and how to, live on your own, and how they help you get a job, and help you get volunteering hours, and stuff like that. And so many of my teachers have short hair, and stuff like that. And you know what, Henry Jack? I'm actually gonna go back to the question you had to ask me a couple minutes ago. Did I get bullied in school? Not in high school, no. Kind of by only by two people, but then my social studies teacher kind of was like, cut it out, and yeah, it was the end of that pretty much. But for the rest of the moment when I was in high school, I felt weird, different, and uncomfortable talking to people after that. But then after years of figuring out myself, realizing I'm trans, and then starting HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy, at age 19, back on September 8th, 2023, on a Friday. And yeah, so it will be my 1 year and 9 months on HRT in 5 days. And that is crazy to think about. And have I gotten bullied in my transition program for being trans? Sorta by my teachers. I made a video talking about this, and what they did was not cool because one of my teachers called, it happened like a while ago, but they said that I would look like one of the clowns. I forgot. One of the clowns, I forgot. But like, where his hair was like sticking out sideways, and his hair was red, and then he was bald in the middle, and his hair was sticking out this way. I forgot, the clown's name, but if you can figure out the clown's name, then you know what I'm talking about. So I was gonna look like him with my hair, and that really made me, and they would say blah 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 blah, saying that's really just means something. Then one of my kids would say, hey, then says stuff about their family member and saying that, oh, they're trans, and it's like, then my kid's not using her before preferred pronouns, and it really just hurts. So like my teachers were kind of the one kind of trying to help me, but in a way with my hair that wasn't really beneficial. It was beneficial for me to learn how to do it, but then in a way didn't. And that was unprofessional for a teacher to pick on you like that, straight up. And They also got a person, a black woman, to do my hair. And when I looked in the mirror, that the small mirror they had, and I saw what I looked like, I looked like a freaking anime character, not in a good way. I felt so uncomfortable and just embarrassed. And I'm not gonna lie, talking about this is hard for me to talk about because of how messed up it made me feel for like, not even kidding, weeks after that. Like my dysphoria was bad, and I just kept it to myself during school, and tried to stay as strong mentally as I possibly could, so I could just get through the rest of the school year without having any more issues. And the way that my teachers go about things is really frustrating. That my teacher would say this, like, no, no, there's not an excuse. It's like, it's not. Like, why would I make an excuse over the fact that you got a black woman to do my hair in a way that made me feel uncomfortable? Like, you didn't teach me anything, really. Like, they did, but in a way that made me feel dysphoric for weeks. And that's what I'm talking about when I say this is why we have Pride Month every single year in June. Because on June 28th, 969, that's when the Stonewall riots happened. I have a whole video talking about that on your channel, more in depth, of why you shouldn't date name, why you shouldn't use the person's, why you should use someone's preferred name and pronouns, and why you should respect them and listen to what the person has to say and respect their boundaries. Like, if a teacher doesn't, I felt violated during that time. Like, not gonna lie. Like, during our whole like conversation, during that moment, I was thinking in my head, like, and then they tell me, oh, a woman is, you know, this and this, and don't even want to be seen as a woman. And I'm like, yeah, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because I'm the one who can validate myself, and people who don't see me as a woman, that's on them, not on me. Because if I'm confident going out in public with the hair like this, or if my hair like is curling and calm down, then, you know, yeah. And this all happened. That all happened because one day I went at work, and my hair was kind of messy, I guess, and my teacher went to my job to check on me, and then she got all freaked out and mad the next day on Monday, because I work Sundays. She got upset, and then it all started downhill from there. And that is why you suddenly just go, no, what you're saying is an excuse, and I'm not gonna listen to you. And yeah. And a couple weeks ago, I made a video talking about why I sat down during the Pledge of Allegiance. And I had to delete the response of why I did it, made that video, and the one of why I did it. Because of the fact that it got me to the point where I almost got doxxed, felt like I was about to get doxxed, and that's what Thursday got dealt with, thankfully. And then, yeah. So I deleted those videos, and because I sat down to play Legion in school because of the fact that I didn't like what America has been doing, and the fact that it hasn't been really helping the LGBTQIA plus community, or people who are neurodivergent, or you know, the ethnicity is different from white, pretty much. I'm not saying, oh, white people are the problem, I'm just, people who are more close-minded, it's just a weird slope, and I just wish people were just more, you know, open-minded and stuff like that. Instead of being like, oh, if you have a penis, you're a man. If you have a vagina, you're a woman. It doesn't make sense, really. You're not really they're not listening to what a person is saying the identity not valid according to them. It's like, and a trans person or gender gender diverse, you know, people can be like, hey, you know, if you know, if you say that I'm a man, I can say that you're a woman, right? Because if you want to be disrespectful, I can call you a woman straight up, or call you a man, right? Because you think that it's a good idea to, misgender someone, and it doesn't make sense really, really do. And I know that it comes from how someone was raised, and then because of their religion, and being scared of being gender diverse themselves, or their sexuality, or both, and afraid about what would happen if they hang out with people who are LGBTQIA plus, and many other factors as well. And that it doesn't matter as long as like we are just respecting people for who we are. Like if you are trans or agender or bigender or gender diverse, or if you're gay, bi, pan, or have a mix of sexualities and stuff like that, then that's fine. Because you're valid either way. You don't have to dress feminine if you're a woman. You don't have to dress masculine if you're a man. And stuff like that. Since gender isn't just a straight line. It's ups and downwards. It's in between. It's mixed, pretty much. And people who don't understand that. I understand that comes from many other factors and stuff like that. And people don't do it to be hateful most of the time. It is because of the fact that people may not understand it, it may be confusing, and that it frustrates them. And the thing that I learned from making the video is that people who are transphobic or homophobic or both are more irritatable instead from get and stuff like that. And yeah. And yeah, like that's why like talking more about this doesn't matter if you're if you don't have any family members who are trans or part of the LGBTQI plus community. I feel like if you as least educate yourself, you might meet someone who is LGBTQI plus and actually be able to understand how someone might feel and respect them more, and make them feel more seen and respected and less scared and anxious about talking about topics relating to LGBTQI plus related stuff, or just being their true authentic self and stuff like that. And by supporting people who is gender diverse, you show them that, hey, I see you, and I may not understand this, and yeah. And the thing that I also put in the video is this, is that putting conditional love and unconditional love. If a parent is closed-minded and homophobic, transphobic, they only want something called conditional love. Meaning that if your child comes out as, if let's say that you have a child, and they're born, let's say, female, right, and they want to transition to a male, to be a man, right? And then your parents go, no, you're supposed to be a girl and don't have kids, right? That's conditional love. Well, unconditional love is, hey, I want to be a man. Can you please use my preferred name and pronouns? And then the parent who loves you unconditionally should be like, yeah, of course. And that's something that people don't understand. And then doesn't only, of course, doesn't happen towards parents. It could be with your friends too. If you love your friends conditionally for their skill in a video game, or if they have money, they're good looking, then you only care for them conditionally. But let's say that you love your friend if they come out as trans or gender diverse, or with sexuality, or with, hey, I'm gay, or I'm pan, or I'm mix of the two. And then you go, oh, okay, I respect that. That's unconditional love. And a lot of times, people may not know that they are doing what is called either conditional love or unconditional love. And what I bring to the table is unconditional love. Just people who just want to be seen and respected and cared for. Because I am a empathetic woman who cares for people deeply. Where I try to help out people who feel a need to be like seen and respected and stuff like that. And yeah, like I helped my friends in the past when they were upset at school and helped them calm down, and they helped me out as well. And that what I realized down the road that they quote unquote only liked me for what I was, not for what I became, aka trans quote unquote friends. And yeah, and that's why I make these type of streams from time to time, and why I make videos talking about LGBTQI plus related topics every now and again to spread efficacy and to spread, hey, if if you truly do respect your friend for who they are, then why do you think stop being a friend is a good option? That shows them that you love them conditionally. That you only care for them for who they were, not who they truly are deep inside. And that you don't know what they've been dealing with for years and years and years and years. And been feeling deep inside for so long. And then all of a sudden, when they first coming out is a very scary thing. It's scary because you don't know how someone's going to react to you coming out as gender diverse or with your sexuality as well. It's something that is very, very difficult to really do and stuff like that. Because of the fact that you don't know how your parents are going to react, you don't know how your coworkers are going to react, you don't know how your friends are going to react. Or you don't know how your family is going to react. Or anyone's going to react to you coming out. And it's something that's going to... And that's why it's always a good idea to have a plan B or plan C or plan D. Because in the case, if you need to make sure that your area is safe to come out, 100% make sure that you're in a safe environment to come out. And it's either gender diverse. Do you know why I say gender diverse? Because it's more gender neutral to say it. Or come out with sexualities. With like with sexuality or sexual orientation. And that is because, for one, if your parents end up yelling, screaming at you, and they end up just not respecting you, you always have to have a plan B. And multiple plans just in case. Like, hey, maybe you could stay at your friend's house for that night. Or you could stay with your friend's house for a while. And I understand that if you're a minor, that may be more difficult thing to do if you're a child. Hello, Apollo Knight. A trans femme MC player. I'm a trans femme MC player. This is Hype. I'm here to support the stream. Aw, thanks, Apollo Knight. And yeah, like, and stuff like that. Like, I'm doing this stream because of the fact that, I'm not gonna lie, I actually was watching another content creator video, and yeah, and her name is, let me see here, is Noah VT, and I feel bad for her, to be honest, because she's dealing with a lot of like stress and stuff. Like, and I wish that people who are trans, or just gender diverse in general, wasn't so hated because of the fact that when you're a big content creator or small one, it sucks when you're a small content creator when you're trans because a lot of the big content creators who are homophobic, transphobic can put in a narrative and say anything about the LGBTQIA plus community. Instead of anything, say, oh, for example, like I can say, oh, trans people are evil, but I would never really say that. What I would say actually is trans people are these really nice people who just want to be seen, supported, and just don't want to be seen as monsters or creeps or pedophiles all the time. Like it gets old when you hear the exact same thing over and over and over again, non-stop. And then on top of that, have bills stopping us from even using the bathroom we want to be able to use. It's something that doesn't really make sense. It's like saying, oh, you don't want to see, you don't want to see, see a man go into a woman's restroom. But what if someone is trans mask? You're putting a trans man inside a woman's restroom, pretty much. Still. So either way, you're putting a man inside a woman's restroom. So on top of that, if someone's trans femme, you're putting someone that is trans femme inside the men's restroom. So either way, it doesn't really make much sense. It doesn't make sense really. It's like a whole scene. It doesn't like go like this because it's just a whole loop of like doesn't equal sense. It equals nothing. It equals people more getting hurt, getting abused, getting made fun of, and getting harmed, and getting harassed for just wanting to use the bathroom, want to go pee and poop, pretty much. And like, it's something that it just scares me the most of why at work I don't clean the bathrooms at work because it's something that in my brain I legit can't. My anxiety won't let me because I am a custodian at McDonald's who cleans the floors, the windows, and the tables, and then yeah. And then when I say I'll clean the bathrooms, I'm always so anxious to actually do it because I'm always anxious of a parent walking in with their kid or an older person walking in and saying something. It's always a scary thing of like what can go on in a matter of seconds for me. For anyone that's gender diverse. And that's something that like scares me pretty much. Or scares me for like anyone. Because of the fact that it's not easy to be trans these days. It's scary pretty much. I'm not trying to scare anyone during Pride months. It's the reality of the truth. Is that we try our best to show support to others in the LGBTQI plus community, and yeah, we try our best to be our true selves, but sometimes in certain states, in certain areas, certain countries of the world, it's frowned upon, and that's something I wish wasn't a thing, where people just hate and hate and hate on us for just existing, for saying, oh. And the thing that, is weird is that if you're trans, is that, oh, if you're trans femme, I don't know if anyone said this about trans masks, but if you're a trans femme, then it's like, oh, since you're a trans woman, doesn't mean that you want to have, a dick in your butt. It's like, no. Like, doesn't, like, if someone sexualizes trans women in that way, then they're weirdly messed up in the head for thinking that. Then it's like, why do you think that all trans people want that for one? It doesn't make sense. Like for me, I want to be able to have someone that I can just sit down with, chat, and just talk about stuff without being scared or anxious about talking about Marvel, my favorite video games, or book, or whatever, or plans we have for the weekend, or whatever, and just be seen as like any other person, pretty much. Like, and then always have to like have quote unquote adult fun time. Like, it's something that is weird. And it's kind of inappropriate to say about trans people. That all trans people want to have adult fun time with each other. It's fine if trans people want that, but that's their business, no one else's. Same thing with private parts. There's no need for someone to be like, oh, but I need to know what private parts you have. It's like, no, you don't. Because what if someone's intersex? Like, more of the time either they know when they're at early age, or they know later on in life. So really, it's all about how you want to respect people and how you view the LGBTQI plus community. And a lot of times people view the LGBTQI plus community as the villain of humans, pretty much. They're going, oh yeah, if you're LGBTQI plus, we can't be friends because because no one know, because you're weird. Because you're weird. It's like, being weird is why we have stuff. Like, and this is why we have Pride Month every year in June. That's on June 28th, 1969. That's when the Stonewall Riots happened for 5 days or 8 days. I forgot. I know a video on it, so like, surprised I already forgot about it, but still. And it's something that people need to learn to just chill out on and just, can we just please just get along? And just realize, always complaining about someone's gender identity or sexual orientation isn't gonna help any of us in the long run. Like, it's like, then it got more and more easily going, oh, if you're trans, it makes it even harder for us. If you're gender diverse, it makes it harder for us to go on SOT, or want to get SOS, SRX, my bad, and stuff like that. Because of the fact that makes it even harder and harder, that's why people gotta go and do, or whatever it's called, DIY HRT, yeah. I've never done it, never will, because luckily I'm in a state that supports the LGBTQI plus community straight up, and hasn't stopped, when you're on, Planned Parenthood or another thing that's able to help gender diverse people go on HRT and stuff like that, get on testosterone or estrogen and stuff like that. For me, I'm on pills, which is called, for me, it is estradiol and spironolactone. And yeah, like, and a lot of times people think that, oh, if you are, trans, then, or gender diverse, you have to act a certain way or dress a certain way. If you're gender diverse, I have to say, you gotta dress a certain way or act a certain way, which is not always true. And that's when that's when people start having gender dysphoria. A lot of times people don't even know that gender dysphoria even exists half the time. Because it's like, oh, so you want to be a woman to harass kids and that? No. No. That's not the case. Because gender dysphoria is a real thing. Because, yeah, and the same was also with sports. and I can and from my experience, I can see that trans women, they have a disadvantage going you know, on HRT, and because of the fact that I'm not sure about how it works for a trans mass or trans men. So like, yeah, because for trans femmes, we lose our muscle for the muscle mass because of it, and yeah, because doing a bowling tournament, because it's a sort of transit program, they have Spanish Olympics bowling. I did, and during that one time, I couldn't pick up my 8-pound ball, my bowling ball. I can just show it to you right now. This is my 8-pound bowling ball I'm always talking about in videos from time to time. This ball is what my grandma got me, and then I got my bag over there. And when I would go to bowl, right, I wouldn't be able to pick it up at all because of the fact that it was heavy. It was heavier than before. And so I lost that in it because I didn't realize at that time that my HRT started to kick in. And I'm happy it started to kick in, but at the same time, it kicked in during one moment for me, not gonna lie, at the worst possible time and moment and day. But am I complaining? No. It was predictable, it's gonna happen at some point, and it is what it is. But yeah. And again, just the reason I do streams like this from time to time, because I wanted people across the internet. I know the internet is just a toxic environment from time to time, and people who just wanting to just DDoS people, hack people's stuff, and steal people's money, harass people, and just have people be unalive pretty much. But on this channel, I want to grow a community where people don't feel scared or anxious about being who they truly are. And stuff like that. Because to me, it's better to have an environment where people feel seen, heard, and feel safe in an environment. And I feel scared or would have to fight for the right to be seen and stuff like that. And yeah, for me, when I talk about anything LGBTQIA plus, or anything to do with being neurodivergent or autistic, or autism, I feel like I always have to fight and always have to defend myself each and every single time. That's because that's the way I was raised, pretty much. I've been to multiple protests about several different stuff, and that's how I grew up and stuff like that. And yeah, like, and again, I don't think I'm not in the stream just yet.